Now this is the flyer and the spinning wheel end of the Victorian style spinning wheel. So we've got some steel wool and some pale boiled linseed oil, which I use a lot, which is linseed oil with an additive into it. Now what we want to do is try and work out what style of timber this is. So this is looking absolutely beautiful. Looking at that, I would say it's probably got a very boxwood look about it. Now you can see on this, sorry if I get the camera angle wrong, I'm trying to see it myself. But you can just see this area I'm doing now, just taking just a slight dirt stain off. That is absolutely gorgeous. So you can see through here across there, that's where the unspun fleece will go through there, out through that eye here, and then across that little groove there onto each of these individually, each of the different hooks, depending on where it's actually going on. So I've got to say, you may as well use all the excess pale boiled oil. It's on the early one. It just shows you how little of this oil you actually use. Well, you can see there's a few borer holes in there, but I'd probably go as far as saying they don't like this timber very much. So you can just see with the tiny little bit of effort that I've put into it already, this one we believe is probably round about, and there's some numbers stamped on there. You've got 55. Sorry, 53. Just see how that's just lightening up. And you can really see the grain. This is why I just love this style of cleaning the timber up. Before you do anything too evasive, I always start off and just give it, even just a small area, give it a good steel wooling with a little bit of pale boiled oil, because if you don't like it, you can always sand it off later. So I think this is going to come up extremely nice. You've even got the wooden turned thread there, which goes into there. So you can see even the borers have been in there, but they've only done a tiny little bit. So probably to help me with the research, we'll probably go over something that's relatively borer non-friendly. So again, we'll still use, again, you try awfully hard wherever possible to go with the grain. I really should be wearing gloves. And I see this has got a hole through there, so I'd say this will probably have a Scotch tension, for those that are familiar with that. So looking at that, I'd say that's probably answered the question I had earlier. But you can just see with this little bit of work here, what an absolutely divine grain that's got through it. So I'll post a photo later of the end result. Have a good one. Thank you.